the current trending topic is Ton. The price sort of exploded about 20%. Now, when it comes to coins like these that have market caps in billions of dollars, that 20% is quite huge. So obviously something happened. But in this case, it's not one thing. There are a lot of factors because of which the price exploded. And we are going to talk about what those factors are and how we can proceed forward from here. So this is Toncoin from CoinMarketCap. As you can see, it was going as usual, going up and down at about a market cap of about at around $8 billion, $7.5 billion. Now, what happened here was on 28th of May at 14, this is, I think it is UTC 0, I'm not sure, or maybe it's UTC +5, that's my local time. It exploded from a market cap of about 7.5, which is quite usual for it, to about 9.1. So it went up to about more than $1.5 billion. Something obviously happened. And of course, I tried to figure out what that was. Turns out it's not one thing. There's no one factor that we can attribute this growth to. There are multiple factors, and they are essential to understand moving forward with Ton. So here's what happened. And the first thing that we have is this one. Telegram issued $1.5 billion in bonds, which were divided among big players like BlackRock and Citadel. Both of these, of course, are big organizations. BlackRock alone handles assets worth $10 trillion. So their emphasis, they're putting their focus on Ton. That's actually a pretty good sign. So that's one thing. Now, the next thing, although it's mentioned in the same paragraph, I don't think they're related. It is a different partnership that is from Musk's xAI. So Elon Musk has a company, an AI company that goes by the name of xAI, which has produced Grok. That is the, it's kind of like similar to ChatGPT. It's a chatbot that Elon Musk's AI company has developed, and they, that company came into a partnership with Telegram, which we are going to discuss in more details. And this $300 million that were contributed by Musk's xAI, that was in some way as part of the deal, plus also equity. Although it's here, it says dowry, but dowry is a completely different thing. I'm not sure why it's being mentioned here or in what context it's being mentioned here. It's definitely an analogy and not literally, because they're not getting married, but it's sort of like a marriage. It's sort of like a reunion, and they're putting this contribution in good faith, I think. So we are going to talk about this, but this is a separate topic, and it is going to be very essential moving forward, because it's not just $300 million that are being contributed by xAI to Ton. Their partnership will include much more than that, including 50% of the subscription revenue that will be generated for Grok, that from the users that will come from Telegram. But we'll talk about that in more details. So the first thing is, the Telegram issued $1.5 billion in bonds, which were divided, between big players like BlackRock and Citadel. The next thing is, and I think this is quite important because it's being emphasized a lot. So we have a former Visa, the Visa card, the company, the Visa crypto business head, Nicola, joined Ton Foundation. Now, he joined in the capacity of, let me put it up, which is right here. So Nicola, who was the former head of Visa's crypto division in Europe, he joined the Ton Foundation as vice president of payments. His expertise, are being anticipated to bolster Ton's payment infrastructure and expand its global reach by making it more compliant. If anyone knows about Telegram and Ton, you know that the history of Telegram and Ton includes a lot of these hurdles in terms of compliance. Originally, Ton was named Telegram Open Network, but because of legal issues of Ton being labeled as a security by SEC, they had to change the name from Telegram Open Network to the Open Network. So in words, in I would say theoretically there is no connection between Telegram and Ton, but I mean we all are aware that there definitely is a connection. Anything that happens with Telegram, it has impact on Ton. So um I'm not sure where I strayed, but so he will be focusing on compliance, and we are going to discuss more on how he's going to do that. It says he is securing compliance in over 100 countries, directly eliminating the biggest regulatory threat to Ton. So that is what he is aiming for, and it is quite important because I think Ton is being held back because of these issues, regulatory issues. I think if that part is covered, I think the outreach of Telegram is much more. I mean, Telegram, it's one of the biggest platforms with so many users. We all saw what happened with Notcoin. We all saw what happened with Hamster Combat. These games alone that are deployed on Telegram got millions of users, and that was quite huge. So, um, um, so we know that Telegram is pretty huge. Its outreach is quite huge, but Ton itself, it wasn't, and I think I still think it's not showing that strength that it actually has because of Telegram. And I think that's because of these regulatory issues about compliance. But if it gets covered here, if he is able to cover that end, I think this Ton can experience exponential growth. A lot of the retail investors that were being held back because of this, I think they won't hesitate anymore, and they will probably go all in, seeing the potential that Ton actually has. So that is another thing. Nicola joining Ton, who is a former Visa crypto business head. I think that's a pretty good news. But that's not it. This also is not the only factor that contributed. There were a lot of factors that were ongoing. So for example, in March, it was announced that 50% of the advertising revenue will be settled in Ton. And that is pretty huge. So all those companies that are running ads on Telegram, using Telegram, they will be first converting 50% into Ton, and then that's how the payment will be made. So a lot of this revenue, I would say revenue, that will be converted to Ton, which is quite good. There are some other places as well where Ton will be used for Telegram in different places. So it says with delayed transaction worth billions of dollars, directly turning Ton from a speculative asset into hard currency. Now moving forth, we had some upgrades for the technology behind Ton, but I don't think that's what led to this price increase. I mean, all of these things were ongoing already. If they were going to make an impact, I think they would have made impact already. But if they didn't, I don't, they obviously do have impact, long-term impact, but it's gradual. It goes like this. Not, it's not quite steep. Let me just change it so you can actually see what I'm talking about. I don't know how I never changed it, but now moving forth, let's talk about the deal that Elon Musk's XAI company made with Telegram. Essentially, I think this is one of the biggest factors that contributed to this growth, because Pavel Durov posted it, and this was almost, I would say, around the same time on May 28th, and he said Telegram and XAI have agreed to a 1-year partnership to distribute Grok to Telegram's billion plus users and integrate it into the apps. Telegram will receive $300 million in cash and equity from XAI plus 50% of revenue from XAI subscriptions sold via Telegram. Now, this partnership is huge. On one part, we all are aware that Elon Musk has this influence over crypto. Wherever he's mentioned, wherever he's talked about, whichever token that he talks about, it explodes, getting millions of dollars in market cap, even 200 million market cap, just because he mentions something in his tweet. So that alone is very huge. Now his company, XAI, which is the AI company that developed Grok, they are coming into partnership with Telegram. So, in superficially, if you look at it, it's just one AI chatbot partnering with a social media application. So there's not much of a big deal there. But we are aware that there is an association of Telegram with Ton. Anything that happens on Telegram, it has an impact on Ton. Now, if you look at it from that frame, you will see how huge that actually is, because Telegram is opening up different ways through which Ton will be used in if it's settlement of advertising revenue, if it is subscriptions. They are finding ways where Ton can be used, can be utilized, that will incentivize people to buy Ton and handle that payment in Tron. That's the focus Telegram has. And moving forward with Grok, essentially all those users will have the option to subscribe to Grok, and 50% of that revenue that will go to Telegram, essentially Ton. It will be a 1-year partnership, and Telegram has already received $300 million in cash and also equity from XAI. So Telegram receiving $300 million plus, in equity, that's one thing. Of course, this was not injected into Ton. It was, I think, all from the people who saw the potential Ton has, and now it's exploding, and they wanted to take benefit of the moment. That's how it's kind of like exploded. But moving forward, for the first year, this partnership, they will be receiving 50% of the revenue. And this news has, I think, what led to this, explosive growth that we witnessed. Then we have some other details about Ton, how the ex-Visa executive who joined Ton Foundation has an impact, who obviously, it does have a huge impact, especially, like I said before, if he is able to get Ton compliant, like I said, like he said, in 100 plus countries. I think that is going to be absolutely huge. Now, this is an article from Binance. I'm going to give you guys the links that will be in the description. Some of the things that you need to be careful of is, first of all, there is, like I said, not that I said, but the peak, the all-time high of Ton is about $8.28. I'm not sure what the supply was at the time, but it does have the potential to reach that point again, possibly when we enter altcoin rally. It does have the potential to reach there. It possibly will when we enter into altcoin rally, but there will be corrections that will be made before that, and you don't want to, go for a loss over there. Sorry. Now, when it reached $8.28 billion at that time, there was no Ton, there was no Notcoin. There was no hamster combat. People were not as much aware of Ton at the time as much as they are at this point. So it is possible that, this peak will be much more than $8.28. People are anticipating that it can be $10, which is in the realm of possibilities, if we are being optimistic, if it is definitely in the realm of possibilities. But the peak that it has touched, previously on May 24, it was about $3.21. Uh, it may trigger. It says it can trigger a correction. Um, and it says the Notcoin users have exceeded 40 million, but other applications have not yet taken off. And they're not mentioning Hamster Combat yet, but I mean, we do have two of the big projects that were launched there, two big games that got like 40 million, and I'm not sure how many Notcoin, or, how many Hamster Combat had, but it was much more than 40 million that the Notcoin had. But other than that, we haven't been seeing a lot of these. I mean, there was a chain reaction. A lot of these projects started developing their game on Telegram, but of course, not all of them experienced the same growth as Notcoin and Hamster Combat did. So there is, it says ecosystem diversity is a hidden danger, unless it happens to not just one, maybe more than one, two, four, five, six. Then we'll be able to attribute that success towards Telegram. But if it's one application, one game, or two games, we can say it's a coincidence. It may not be a coincidence, but it's okay to wait a bit and see if there are other applications who are facing the same success. Then the compliance signal, the progress of the US MSB license determines life or death. Obtaining it may lead to a surge, otherwise it could plummet. I honestly, I don't think it is going to plummet. I mean, of course, in the short term, it may experience some hindrance, but if we have learned anything from what happened with XRP, it's that you will always have these diamond hand people, these long term people who believe in the token, who believe in the platform, and they didn't scare away from all that SEC lawsuit that was ongoing for such a long time. Just like that, I think the TON, it may experience hindrance. It's not going to plummet. I think at some point it is going to establish a ground, if it hasn't already. But getting the compliance, of course, it is going to be much more huge. And that is when we can definitely see an explosive growth. That is when we'll see the true potential, the true strength that TON actually has. Right now, it somewhat feels like it's on a leash. It's being controlled. A lot of these people, a lot of these institutions who wants to get into TON, they are being held back just because of compliance. But if it's, if this part is covered, then we'll be able to see how far it's gonna go. And I do have high hopes, for TON. But yeah, that's something that we have to see, when it actually happens. So these were, I would say, I think there were three factors, maybe four factors that led to this explosive growth. Of course, after an explosive growth, there will be a comeback, there will be a correction, and we definitely can see that correction happening now. But I think it is going to establish, I would say, a new ground. It will going to establish a new resistance. But yeah. Okay, it's been wow. It's been 20 minutes. Actually, I can't stream for more than, I would say, 1 hour, because my camera doesn't charge. It runs on battery. I can't charge it while I'm recording or live streaming, so I'm it may run out pretty quickly. But yeah. Now I see that CoinMarketCap added this new signal for altcoin season. I mean, we definitely are waiting for this to happen. Currently, the dominance that Bitcoin has, it is unmatched. Um, there's no way anyone's beating it at this point. But we are waiting on when the dominance, it of course can be outrun by other altcoin, even altogether. But even if it's like, I think 40 to 60%, I think that's going to be huge. Right now we have $2.1 trillion of the entire market that is in Bitcoin, and the total market cap is about $3.4 million. So the other altcoin, all of the altcoin are sharing that one point. That's about $1.3 trillion. So we have $1.3 trillion in all the altcoins, and then we have $2.1 trillion in one cryptocurrency. If a portion of it trickles down on these, I mean, that's going to be very huge. I have made a video on Grok, and that is, I think that's pretty interesting, and I think I'm gonna upload it in 1 or 2 days. The reason why I think it's very interesting is, recently someone made this coin. It was called Gork. So the AI chatbot that was created by XAI, that's called Grok, and someone made this meme coin called Gork. And that person, I'm not sure if that was a person or someone else, started posting on Twitter, not about the coin, but random memes, random stuff that has nothing to do with cryptocurrencies, has nothing to do with the coin itself. I couldn't find any association between that Gork account, the Twitter account, to the new account. Actually, I'm going to open it up for you guys right here, and we'll see how that is performing. And I think it was called New XAI Gork. So, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to pull out that tweet, but I mean, you'll be able to see it from that, from the video that I'm gonna make, which will come out, I think, in 1 or 2 days. So this is, I'm gonna go back about a month. So this was launched on 3 May, and that is actually when that Twitter account was made. So there's some linkage there that this coin was made on the same day as, well, it came on CoinMarketCap. The history, if you go back history, we can find it to about, I think, 1 May or 2 May. It's actually 1 May. And exactly on this same date, that Twitter account was made. So there's at least some association. And what happened was, I think it was that account that tagged Elon Musk, and Elon Musk responded. Sorry, he responded, just a simple emoji. And afterwards, what Elon Musk did, if you open up Twitter, actually, I can open Twitter without using a VPN. Actually, I'm going to use a VPN. I don't know why it doesn't work in my country. I'm not sure if Elon Musk changed his name back to Elon Musk. He changed it to Gorklan Rust. I think that's what he named himself. And he also changed his profile picture. I'm pretty sure some people will be confused what that was. But if you take a look at the account that he was interacting with, you will know what he's doing. Actually, I'm not going to register. I already have registered, but I'm not going to do it here. Anyways, I'm just going to say it right here. So what he did was, shortly after responding to that tweet, he made another tweet, tagged that account, Gork, and he changed his name to Gorkland Rust, and he changed his profile picture to the picture that the Gork Twitter account was using. He just changed it a bit. And actually, if you take a look at the image that we have right here, it may be a bit small, but I'm not sure if I can enlarge it somehow. Let's see if I can open up the website now. I think I tried it before, it didn't work. It takes us to this Gork community. This is the the community account, not the actual one, but you can see the picture that we have right here. So this is the picture. What Elon Musk did was just put a sunglasses emoji on top of it and started using it. That is pretty huge. I mean, he changed his name to Gorkland Rust, not Grok. Grok is the the AI that his AI company XAI has made. He didn't name it himself Grokland Rust. He named it Gorkland Rust, which is a meme that is made on Gork. And afterwards, he did retweeted some of the posts that Gork made. Um, so there was some interaction there, and because of that, people started believing that maybe Elon Musk has picked up a new coin, just like he did, Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. Maybe this is his new pick, and because of that, it skyrocketed. I think it moved up to about $70 million. We take a look at the coin market, in terms of market cap. So this is when he initially mentioned it. It was at about $17 million, and this is when he responded with an emoji, and it skyrocketed to about $62 million. And then afterwards, it dropped, and he changed his. I'm not sure if the stream is still working or if it's off now. That's quite weird. So he changed his when he changed his name to Gorklon Rust. The the market cap shot to about $78 million. So, and then there's definitely something else that happened here, but I was able to track it. And then it dropped to $13 million. So I watched a video from one person, and he was like, Elon Musk used to have a lot more influence, a lot more influence when he talked about cryptocurrencies that was skyrocketed more than $100 million in market cap. Now it wasn't even 100 million; it was about maybe 60 million, somewhere about that, which is not a huge impact. And if it's not able to make a huge impact now, it definitely is not going to make an impact afterwards. And we know that Elon Musk has this habit of picking up cryptocurrencies and then dropping them, and he definitely is going to do it with this one. And when that happens, it's definitely going to drop. So it's, whoever was able to benefit from this price surge right here, I think they were the only ones that were able to benefit. Although this peak happened afterwards. So, I mean, people did benefit from this as well. But from that point of view, it's not possible to make profit from this coin anymore. I mean, it reached its peak, it's not going back. So, and by the looks of it, it is, the person was right. It dropped to about $13 million, coming back from about 78. Maybe if the community remains strong, like in Dogecoin, like in Shiba Inu, if the community remains strong, they can definitely develop it into a project that becomes self-sustainable and not just improve because Elon Musk is promoting it. If the community is strong, if the team is strong, and if they do something about it, I think it does have chance of, gradually increasing from here, gradually going up from here. But if this is all it had, if they relied, if they rely entirely on Elon Musk, I think this is the best that we could get from it. Elon Musk will drop it if he hasn't dropped it already. And if the community and if the team does not do something about it, if they don't pick it up from here, I don't think it's going to go back to this point or even close to that point. But this is something that we have to see. We have to see how the community is performing, what they're doing, and so forth. But yeah, okay. So there is a blackout here, and this is a usual occurrence in this country. So I don't have a lot of battery running, to run my PC. So I'm gonna conclude this stream for now. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna do these streams once a week now, so I can develop some sort of audience. I didn't check all, any comment that I got. I'm not sure if I did, because, like I said before, I have never streamed on the channel, so I'm not sure if I have any audience live, because there's different audiences. If I upload shorts, I'm going to develop an audience for shorts. If I upload long videos, I'm going to develop an audience for long videos. And if I start doing these sort of streams, I am going to develop an audience for streams. But right now I don't, and I definitely want to improve in this sector as well. So you will be seeing more of me, and I'll try to possibly do some giveaways in the future, in these giveaways. But yeah, this is all this is all I have for you guys in this stream. I hope you enjoyed it, learned something from it, and I'll give you guys the links in the description if you want to do, carry out your research from here. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next stream and video. So stay